Hello, my name's Jamie. I am an AcroYoga teacher. I've done my level 2 training with AcroYoga International, and I'm going to be starting some new classes soon in Stoke-on-Trent. And I'm aware of the fact that lots of people don't know what AcroYoga is, or maybe they've seen pictures on social media, but they think it looks a bit intimidating and they're not sure if they would be able to do it. And so I just wanted to do a little video on the basic structure of a class, what you can expect when you come along, just to try and put some people's minds at ease and maybe encourage you to give it a try. So here we go. That is a picture of me there. And this is a picture of the studio where I'm going to be running my classes in Stoke-on-Trent very soon, starting in March. So when you come along to one of my classes, initially you will get greeted by me. And you should always get that when you go to any class. The teacher should greet you when you come in. Fill in some forms, sign waivers, so that's just letting me know who you are, and signing confirmation that you understand that it is a physical activity and that there is potential risk involved, and just making you aware that you are responsible for your own body so you can make wise choices about the things that are best for you. It's also time to pay for the class so that us lovely teachers can make a living. And it's a good time to tell the teacher if you have any special requirements. That's either injuries, illnesses, or things like you have to leave early, anything like that. Also orientate yourself with the facilities, make sure you know where the changing rooms are and the toilets and where to get water and things like that. And you can say hello to the other people in the room, introduce yourself, make friends with the people you're about to do AcroYoga with. Once the class starts, it usually starts with an introduction and an icebreaker. It's a common thing in AcroYoga to do the icebreaker. It's a great way of getting to know each other and sort of breaking any tension that might be in the room and any nervousness. So basically, I usually introduce myself to everyone, give them a little bit of background or important notices if there are any, things like fire escape routes and stuff like that. I might give a summary of the session of what we're going to be training. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's just a bit of a surprise for them as we go. And the icebreaker question will usually be something like, tell me your name, tell me how you're feeling, and then something completely random like, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream, or what's your favorite movie? So that's a really cool way of like everyone checking in with each other and also just breaking the ice. Once you've done that, you move into the warm-up section. So it will usually be a yoga style warm-up. It's a good chance to mobilize, get into your body, so really just release all the stresses and tensions of your day and focus on where you're at this current point in time, really focusing on yourself and the other people in the room, making sure that all the muscles that you're going to be using in the postures that you're about to learn are activated and engaged and warmed up. It then usually moves into a conditioning and inversion section. So obviously in acrobatics, we do lots of things that change our orientation, going upside down, going sideways, going all sorts of things that you would not normally do in day-to-day life. So it's a great opportunity to start learning how to get into those postures whilst balancing on your own hands or on your own body parts rather than balancing on top of someone else. So it's generally with acro, the safest option is to learn how to do things on your own before you then move into it with another person. It's also a good opportunity for strengthening and teaching the body how to maintain control in those different orientations so that it makes it easier when you then move into the acrobatic sections. It's also super fun, so things like sit-ups, which are usually really tedious, become super fun when you're doing them with a big group of people. This is also a time to learn how to spot and coach each other, so when you're in acrobatic positions you need to be able to spot each other so that you can keep each other safe, and in these conditioning exercises and inversion exercises this is an opportunity to learn how to start doing that. You then move into the main body of the class, which is of course when you start learning the acrobatic postures and the flows. Usually there will be demonstrations done by the teachers where you can sit around and watch what's happening. Sometimes you can get right up close, like you can see in that second picture there, there's a group of people laying down next to the base so that they can see where her foot position is exactly, so it helps you understand more what you're going to be doing when you go off to do it on your own. You usually work in groups of 3 or 4 for most acrobatic stunts in an AcroYoga class. This is super important because this is obviously all about safety, and part of the class will be teaching the spotters what they need to be doing, so where they need to stand, how they need to spot, what things they need to be doing. The bass and flyer cannot progress in their training without good spotters. So this is a really key element, and the teacher usually just moves around the room from group to group, giving people different ideas. So maybe repeating instructions if they've forgotten what was said, or giving them ideas of things they can try if they're having difficulty with anything. Sometimes the teachers will step in and spot as well, so they can use their experience to help you get into positions that you might be having difficulty with when working with other people in the group, especially if everyone is a beginner. It's also time to get really creative, so depending on the style of the teacher, they might include some sort of dance elements, things where you start moving around with other people, learning how to pull weights, learning some sort of performative aspects, but that really does depend on the style. Not every teacher does that. Some people like to stick more to the more structured postures and really focus on technique rather than creativity. But that's cool. I tend to do both. I like both, and I try to include a little bit of each style in different classes. Once you've done the main acrobatics section, you then move into your cool down at the end and hopefully therapeutics. Not every teacher includes therapeutics. I love it, so I always include it in my classes. But some people like to either keep it completely separate and just do like a whole class that's entirely focused on therapeutics, or they might not do it at all. Most of my therapeutic sections involve Thai massage, so I've put there lazy yoga. Thai massage is different to Swedish massage, so you're not like rubbing your hands into people's muscles. Rather, it's about using your body weight to stretch people's limbs and just pouring weight into muscles to help ease tension. So it's a really lovely way to end the class when you've been doing something really physical. We also do flying therapeutics, which can involve hanging people upside down on your feet and massaging them in that position. So it's providing massage in a position that you normally would not be in, which allows different parts of your body to release. And also you can work in groups, so you can see there's a picture there of 3 people stretching someone out, which possibly looks a bit torturous in the picture, but it actually feels really amazing. Partner stretches and partner therapeutic work is amazing for getting into parts of your body that you wouldn't normally be able to get to on your own. And finally, at the end of the class, usually there's a circle just to close it down, a chance for everyone to thank each other for sharing their energy and helping each other out. It's a good opportunity to also advertise any other events and activities that are coming up. So maybe that's workshops in the local area or possibly further afield. And also if there's any other teachers in the area, it's really nice to tell everyone about their classes, so that if people who are super keen to go to as many classes as possible know that there are other classes around as well. Sometimes after the class you might have a jam if the teacher has access to the studio for a bit longer. A jam is basically where everyone gets together and plays acro moves with each other, but there's not a teacher telling them what to do. They can just kind of do their own thing. Jams are awesome opportunities to grow, especially once you've learnt the basics. You can go along and start to get really creative. And of course, once you have learnt acro, you can then start going to more and more events. So there's lots of international festivals. There's also a acrobatics festival in the UK every year. That's a really amazing opportunity to connect with people from all over the world and to learn lots of skills at lots of different levels. So I highly recommend those. And of course, it's a great opportunity to hang out with your new friends. So if you've made friends in your acro class, you can go out for drinks, you can go out for dinner. It's one of the amazing things about AcroYoga is that it is very much a community activity, and your class becomes your community. So that is a part of it that's really important to me, and I hope you would find that as well. So yeah, in summary, I hope you now understand a little bit more about an AcroYoga class and what it involves. I hope you'd be tempted to come along and try it out. You can find out what classes and events I am running on my website, www.upliftingyoga.co.uk, and I can't wait to see you there. Bye!